All right, what's up? Welcome. Oh, yeah. Come to the room, 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 come to the room. Come to the room, please. I have to get my mic. So, let me get my speaker so you guys can hear this. Because I need you to hear this. Because I'm like, are we listening to the same thing? Are you hearing what I'm hearing? Because what I'm hearing is disturbing. But people were congratulating and celebrating this guy. I'm very confused. I need to get my speaker. One moment. All right, I'm back. What is up? Welcome, everyone. I am DanieSteel. This is DanieSteel, home of the purple prince. I need you guys to listen to this. This is going to be very quick. I know I always say that, and then it's not. This time it is. Okay, so we're not going to get through his whole video on this subject. The case of Shareef Black, who brutally ended the lives of his pregnant ex-girlfriend and his ex-wife, the mother of his two daughters, whilst his daughters were in the car waiting. This is not a subject to be taken lightly. This is not a subject to use to further an agenda. These women's lives were brutally taken away. What more is there to say about that? End the violence, right? So, look, I'm not gonna lie, I don't listen to him like that. I actually haven't. This is my first time like going to his channel to listen to his content. I've seen him trending, right? I've seen him in beefs to get his YouTube popularity. I've seen him beefing with Tasha K and going back and forth with the other members of the manosphere. And I've seen this, but I haven't really listened to him. And I'm a person, I love law advice. If I thought he was on here to give solid law advice, maybe I would listen. But to me, it looks more like he's here to partake in the money grab of the manosphere, which is fine. It is what it is. Without further ado, because again, I don't have a lot of time. We ain't got a lot of time. Let's get into this video where he starts off talking about who he thinks is to blame. When, I would think that the blame is obvious. It's clearly the person who committed the crime is to blame. Hello, welcome. Hi, good to see y'all. Hey. Thank y'all for being here. Please thumbs up the video and subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and I could use y'all support, so I appreciate that. Let's get into this video. Now, I only listened up to this moment and barely not even before that. I was skipping because I was like, he does a lot of shouting out people and, grandiose gestures and things like that. So I wasn't really very interested in that. But I found the point that people are talking about where they're saying that this guy, this lead attorney, is blaming the victims. Let's take a listen.
Now, you need to be worried about this when you deal with men too, but you already know it with men. You treat women different than how you treat men. You absolutely need to know this about men. Who do I give a special blame to? Anybody know who I give a special blame to? I give a special blame. Ooh, blame is a hard word to talk in this situation. I give a special blame to the girlfriend. I give a special blame to the ex-girlfriend. Are there any women in the chat? Are there any women in the chat who have dated a man who is going through baby mama drama at the time that you're dating him?
No, because I mean, if you're vetting, you should well know, right? Just like these guys don't want baby mamas, right? The baby mamas they create. Just like the majority of these baby mamas relationships, right? The guys are creating the baby mamas. They whisper in their ear, they lie to them. Okay? The guys are creating the baby mamas. Now, is a lack of discernment on the woman's part aiding in that? Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. We got to keep it a buck because that's what we do. We have to keep it a buck. And that's why we talk about vetting over here. And that's why when it comes to red flags, when it comes to vetting, right? Hypergamy is the name of the game. So we're definitely not looking to date men at work, right? We're not looking to date guys around us. Now, of course, that varies and depends. But what we're certainly not ever looking to do is to date a baby daddy, right? So, no, I can't tell you, lead attorney guy, I can't tell you about being in a relationship with a guy with baby mama problems because I wouldn't date a guy with baby mama problems. Never. I don't care how fine he is. I don't know what that means for y'all. Fine to me means that he's a man of his word, loyal, trustworthy, has a good living, makes, a good way to provide for himself and his family. That's what fine looks like to me. But wow, what do you mean a special blame? I mean, after I blamed literally the guy that did it, you can blame these toxic systems like toxic masculinity. And I would call it toxic patriarchy, honestly, because I don't think it's fair that masculinity gets a bad rep. Okay? But there's a lot of entitlement. It's too much entitlement. And then for a group of people to be talking about how one group is oppressing them because of their entitlement, to turn around and do the same in the name of what? I know it's not patriarchy, since this is a matriarchy because women go to school more and have better jobs. Okay. That's not what a matriarchy is. A matriarchy isn't when your women respond appropriately to the situation. That's not a matriarchy. A matriarchy is not winning because the women respond appropriately to the situation at hand. That doesn't make a matriarchy, right? So it's too many elements of toxic patriarchy, entitlement, that system, that belief that because I am a male, I can take up space. I get the first word. I get the last word. You women need to keep your mouth shut. Say who? Say what? Anyways, let's continue.
Any woman in the chat that has dated a man that while you were dating was fighting to get his kids, what do you know? You know how frustrated this man is. You know how angry this man is. You know how sad, how devastated this man is.
I don't like the way that sounds. What? What? Why would a man be all emotional like that for any reason? For any reason. He doesn't have, is there something going on in him biologically that makes him that way? Actually they can prove that, men, they have the glands to produce milk, to produce breast milk. They're just not active. Ain't that interesting? Ain't that interesting? So that means that, and this is scientifically proven. It's a video. There's videos about it on YouTube. Check it out. that men have a sort of PMS. You know, they have a sort of PMS period that they go through, that they're not realizing that they go through, right? Because those glands, those inactive glands. So, but what? What? Why would you date a guy and he's angry and he's frustrated and he's going through it? Why would you date a guy who enters the relationship saying, I'm having baby mama issues? I would be like, well, you know, it sounds like you need a good lawyer. Sounds like you need a good attorney. It does not sound like you need a girlfriend. So who's supposed to put up with that? When they talk about choosing better, I would choose better. I would choose better than to date a man who has baby mama issues. That's why I mean, I'm not gonna lie, briefly dated a black guy who was a baby daddy. Guess what? Soon as I found out, it was over. I'm just keeping it a buck. Soon as I found out, it was over. Because I was like, your behavior, I'm not feeling anyways. Okay, I don't like the way you move. Now you've confirmed to me that you're a baby daddy. Okay? After you never told me this before, right? No. I have no interest in interacting with your child. Okay? I teach children. I don't babysit and look after a child that I can't keep in a child's place. That's just me. I have no interest in playing faux mother to your children. So I don't understand why a woman would date a man with baby mama issues. Date a man with an ex-wife and children. I mean, there's so many guys out here. I don't understand that. I wouldn't do that. Okay? But okay, so he's talking to the women that would, right? He's like, it's for the women that would. But it's like, okay, but when we're talking about choosing better, y'all don't want baby mamas for the exact reason why baby daddies shouldn't be accepted in. And I don't believe women create baby daddies. Okay, because if you're a man, you the head, and you the head. So you should be heading and leading and doing the best. You shouldn't be full of excuses. All right. So, but okay, so he's talking to the women that do these things, that date baby daddies. Okay. I don't know how this justifies the ex-girlfriend at all. We're still waiting for that. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me, lead.
He's being open to you. He's telling you his deepest, darkest secrets. He's telling you his deep.
Ain't no dude gonna tell me his deepest, darkest secrets, and we not married. We not married. Bro, you better keep that to yourself. Toughen up. Because let me tell you something. These dudes ain't here to listen to your deepest, darkest secrets, but to use them against you. They're not counselors. They're not therapists. They don't care.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
I got a text message. Excuse that giggity. All right? And it's my husband. Probably wanting to know what I'm going to be making for dinner tonight. The answer is salmon. Salmon. And some pasta. And some broccoli for me. Okay? See, I don't nag. He don't want to eat the vegetables. Okay, don't eat the vegetables. But see, when you start slowing down, don't be sitting there being like, oh, you gotta help me. No. Okay, you didn't want to eat the vegetables, right? And also he uses supplements, but you know, we're trying to get him there. We're trying to get him to eat the vegetables. Okay, he's like a kid, picky eater. Like, boy, you better eat what I made. Okay, anyways, I'll check when I'm done with this. I'll check to see what he wants later. Okay, but it's probably something along those lines. Yeah, I don't see what dating a guy who has baby daddy or baby mama issues, how that justifies what happened here. Let's continue listening.
Darkest fears. And then what do you do when you get mad? you use what he told you against him.
Okay. And couples do that. I don't know why men pretend that they don't do that. You know how many dudes I've had do that shit? Get the fuck out of here. We wasn't even in romantic relationships. These dudes is messy. Think of the messiest bitch you know. It's a dude. It's a Dusty. It's a dudette. Fuck out of here. I don't know why they come on here and they're always like, women, when you break my heart. Like, okay, and guys break women's hearts. Toughen up. Fuck.
You know that he spent $100,000 fighting for his kids. Now you say, oh, you're not going to see your kids just like your wife. Oh my God.
His kids are, why is he playing this As the World Turns music in the background for? His kids were in the back seat. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
Fake outrage. Fake outrage. His kids were in the back seat. No.
Maybe if I tried, I could. Attorneys are good with hypotheticals. And maybe if I tried, I could think of something where death would be justified for a verbal statement, but that's very rare. That's very rare. I will say this. This is not close, but what did that comedian say? Who was it? Chris Rock? Or was it Chris Rock? Or somebody was like, you know.
Wow, if you're a woman and you would deal with this guy, a guy that thinks like this, I mean, you see it all the time, even on this guy's channel. I've seen a few clips, and he likes to do that Kitten Scammules-ish where they're yelling and screaming at him. Like I said, I don't let men talk over me. I don't give a who you think you is. I don't let males talk over me. Nah, calm that down. Get in line. Get in line. That's why I think it's so funny when you enter their spaces, because that's the only time they have the power to do this. They couldn't do it to you in the real world. They couldn't do it to anyone in the real world. They couldn't be like, I'm talking. Like, nobody would care. Nobody would care. They can only do it in these little spaces here. But in the real world, I don't let dudes talk over me and stuff. I don't deal with that shit. You know, but y'all sit in these guys' spaces, in the rooms and stuff. Just let them talk to you any old kind of way. Voice all loud and stuff. I'm not used to that. I'm used to a man who has a lot of control. So
Eddie Murphy? No, it was Bill Burr. Who was like, listen, I don't believe in hitting women, but I understand, right? There are certain situations where you do not believe in hitting women.
What is this guy, Sean Connery? Shaken, not stirred. What are you, Sean Connery? What are you talking about? Now, see, I've talked to y'all about this on this channel. We got to protect the ideals that the nation was founded on. We got to protect, all right, the way that the West is a place, all right, where women have rights. And if you don't want to live in the places, in the countries where women have rights, there are other places you can go. But y'all trying to create these little sub-states where because you're the man, you're the head, and you're the lead, and it's submission time, baby, you gotta pay those bills, you gotta build. You gotta build and provide and protect. That's the only thing that'll get you submission in the West. The Wild Wild West. Now, if you don't like that, go somewhere else where they do things different. It's going to be a lot different for you too as a male. It's going to be a lot different for you too. Okay? But what y'all not going to do, you just hate that women have rights. They'll be like, oh, women have the right to vote. Oh, it pisses them off. Get the hell out of here. Then go somewhere where they don't. It's going to be a lot harder for you too, my guy. And y'all sit and listen to a man like this. You know how many compliments he has from women, black women on his channel? Be like, this is your best live yet. He's sitting up there, and this is going to be your attorney? If you get a DV situation? What if he was the prosecuting attorney? See, he can't be in the prosecuting attorney and have this channel, right? That wouldn't work. Professionalism is a standard. What if he was a prosecutor? He's showing you how these people think. And this is once again why I'm very interested in the law. You know, he does a lot of, how would you know about the courtrooms to people? I know a lot about the courtrooms because I grew up in the foster care system, and they make the children go to court to deal with the case. Not the deadbeat fathers. They don't make them go to court to deal with the case. They make the children. So I've been in plenty of courtroom. I know plenty of lawyer, plenty an attorney. Put it that way. So I've been in plenty of courtroom. Okay? Not only that, but I practice my rights. My rights to sue. So I've been in a courtroom or two, or three, or four on the floor. Okay? Lawyers love to be like, I've talked with, you know, I've had to press criminal charges. And then the DA, the Brooklyn DA was like, people think that, you know, they know this stuff, but it's not that easy. Yes, it is. I can read. I promise you, if I studied for the bar, I'd pass on the first go. I have photographic memory. So without a doubt, I don't know why y'all think that you're the only ones that go to college. I spent 7 years in college as well. I like to study as well. Okay, I know a few things. This guy's talking like this, and he's an attorney. This is it's scary.
Should she have died over these statements that she probably made in the heat of the moment, that she made in a goddamn argument? No, she shouldn't have been killed over that. It's not something that we go around killing people for. But when you see a man cry, when you see a man so frustrated that he can't get his own kids, and then he trusts you enough, he believes in you enough, and he's in a relationship with you, and y'all get pregnant, and now you turn around and say the same shit even before your child is born. He's still in this battle spending $100,000. He's still getting motions every month. He's still going to court. And now you're telling this man that is still fighting on this front that now in 7 months, in 6 months, there's going to be a new front? Does anybody know about military strategy? Are there any veterans in the house? Anybody in the military? You can fight a battle if it's head to head, straight up. But what if you have somebody on the other side that's attacking you too, and now you're trying to fight a battle on two fronts? You can't do it.
Accountability, anyone? Maybe he should learn some accountability. The situation with my ex-wife didn't work. Yet I'm still seeing my kids, obviously. So I don't know why he's trying to pretend as if this man didn't have access to his kids. That's a bunch of cap, but those are the games attorneys play. You ever see Liar Liar, Jim Carrey? My dad's a liar. My dad, he's a liar lawyer. I don't care what nobody say. I know theatrics, baby. And the court of law is the court of theatrics. I promise you. Why do you think Kim Kardashian want to get in there? Why do you think her daddy was doing so well? Top lawyers, theatrics. Anyways, yeah, you know, I mean, you got to get that under control. Again, I would advise women to do the same thing that these guys say that they're going to do. They don't want to date baby mamas. Don't date baby daddies. Don't date guys. I don't care how fine he looks. I don't care what cologne he sprayed on in the car before he met you with his stink breath. Okay? I don't care about none of that. You need to practice discernment. And if you're dealing with a guy who calls women the B word, who calls women females when he addresses them, hates his mama and his ex and his ex-wife and his ex-girlfriend and all the women in his life are always to blame for everything that went wrong with him, you need to run in the opposite direction. Fast, okay? Post haste. Effective immediately. This man is arguing like someone who cannot understand the concept of self-soothing, accountability, and emotional maturity. Well said. What? Everybody has problems every day. Okay? You're not just entitled to your children. Did you know that? If you abuse your children, if you're abusing your partner, if you're not paying your child support, newsflash, I've been telling y'all that on this channel. Because see, I've been through the court system. The courts don't want to pay for your children. They don't want to pay. All right? That's why they want to hold one of y'all responsible for that. Those are all things, those are all factors that can play a part in whether or not you get custody. Stop being entitled. Listen to the woman that you want to be in a relationship with, or you can go to man land. All right? And it ain't here. This is allegedly and supposedly the land of opportunity, equality, education. It ain't man land. I don't know who told y'all that. Like that's some consolation prize that you get for being here and having to deal with life because you're a guy. Okay, everybody's here dealing with life. Women and children are here dealing with life. Right. Why the same things that y'all say to women about why their relationships don't work, you don't say to yourselves. This should be a conversation about nothing but accountability, about this man's accountability and responsibility to, at the very least, his children, to not take their mother away from them so brutally. Now, when those girls grow up, they're going to have guys telling them they're not being feminine enough. Respect me, submit to me. And they don't care that they had to go through this. They don't care what they put these young girls through. They just want them to come out like Becky, right? Who had protection, who had provision. Delusional.
How can you fight a battle on two fronts? He's spending $100,000 fighting this woman, and now in 7 months, he's going to have to battle your ass too? You're going to make up allegations too? You're going to keep him away from his kids too?
He has no proof of that whatsoever. He should know as an attorney to not make such outlandish allegations. He has no proof whatsoever of what he's saying. He's just saying this to like, this is a case where women were brutally taken. I mean, look, I mean, you guys know my channel. It's nothing but integrity over here. And I'm not even a lawyer. We practice integrity over here. I don't see the integrity in this.
What does Mike say? Mike said, I spent 10 years.
Oh no, I spent 10 years. Okay. And she didn't spend 10 years having to deal with your ass. It goes both ways. Like they're the only ones miserable. Fuck. You better go meditate, bruh. You better go sing to yourself. You better go harness your chi. Fuck. This is excusing beta behavior. Dusty behavior.
Right? Bad news is you can't fight a war on two fronts.
You can't boss your ex-wife around and treat her like she's supposed to be kissing your ass 24/7. And then when she wants to divorce you, and now you have to fight for custody because for some reason you want the same amount of custody that a woman has for her children, even though y'all all working. Okay, you can't do that to her. And then when you have the same pattern with your girlfriend, it's hard to fight both of those things. No shit, Sherlock. Straighten up. Get your act together. Have some accountability. Toughen up. Like your stepdaddy told you. Okay? Fuck. Get it together. You're not supposed to put your hands on women and children. You're not supposed to hurt people who don't have the strength, the physical strength that you have. A man knows that. So yeah, life is tough. And as a man, you should know, I've got to be okay. I've got to take care of my mental health. I'm falling apart. This isn't the time for me to have children. This isn't the time for me to have custody. If the case is too much, let me deal with this later and focus on my mental health. I would think a man would make those kind of choices. So why would a man relate to this guy who brutally ended the lives of the mother of his children, his ex-wife, and the mothers of his children, his ex-girlfriend also pregnant with his child? Why would a man relate to that? I've never once brought some story of some chick acting a fool on here and talked about how relatable it was.
Right? And Path, what does Path say? Boy, stop. You're pathetic, contradicting yourself. You don't even know this man from a can of paint, even to discuss he wasn't a victim. See, and this is what I'm talking about. Some of you are not mature enough to have this conversation.
Ew, gross. Can you imagine being with a guy like this that talks like this? He won't even look. He's like, this is how he's reading the chats. You can't find warrants to front match dealing with being a black person, navigating my sprint. Like, what? Why don't you enunciate the words when you read it? I don't understand. It doesn't take a lot of energy to do that. And he's gonna try to do reverse psychology, right? And be like, you're not mature enough to handle this conversation. There's nothing mature about this conversation. I really wasn't expecting this, y'all. I was expecting at some point it would flip. And he'd be like, I use clickbait titles, and not that he was actually committed to believing this. And you've got hundreds of comments from people agreeing with him. Oh my God.
Path is one of these people. Right? Path is one of these people. He was absolutely a victim in this. He was absolutely a victim in this. And I'll just leave it at that. Now, this is a complicated world that people like Path aren't intelligent enough to comprehend. You can be a victim and at the same time be a murderer. Listen to what I'm telling you. You can be a victim.
Oh, stop. Miss me with the Umar Johnson repeat bullshit. It doesn't make what he says any more valid. If you're listening to this guy talking about this and thinking that this is someone that's going to help you mentally, you are deluding yourself. All right? The guy that committed these absolute brutal crimes, all right? I mean, you can barely say murder out here, all right? These murders, all right? Algorithm-ish, you know how they do. The guy that did this was clearly mentally unhinged. I don't think there's a psychologist, a therapist out there that wouldn't agree with that. Okay? And I think it's horrible that these women were dealing with this guy. But as you can see from the tape, he very calmly spoke about what he was going to do. He had a calm temperament about him, which is unusual when someone has lost their marbles. It is unusual. He was eerily calm. I will say that. And so these women, my God, how do you see someone eerily calm? How do you see that coming? But it doesn't make him a victim because he had mental illness. You are, and I've told y'all this before on this channel, you control your brain, all right? Your brain does not control you. And if you can't understand that, you're going to have a hard life. Now, we talk about accountability here. That's why we don't have millions of people over here yet. You'll start to understand as those prices go up and world gets harder that that victim narrative ain't gonna get you nowhere. Nobody cares about your sob story. It's just the way that it is. So you are responsible for your mental health. You're not responsible for the trauma that you've endured. You're responsible for your own healing. You just are. And I can't stand how a lot of people, black folk, love to be like, well, nobody explicitly told me. I wasn't explicitly told this. I wasn't explicitly told that. That's not how life works. You're not going to be explicitly told. Grow up. That's why people don't like me. That's why people don't like me. Don't worry, they don't like me in real life for it neither. When I talk about being responsible and shit. But one thing I'm not going to do is help you out of the situation you got in on your own. Mental health is important. You need a break, take a break. Talk to somebody, get help. But you know what's making guys like this pop? These YouTube males who are justifying their fucking behavior. Giggity. God damn it. Oh shit, I gotta go. All right. I gotta go. Maybe I'll do a part 2 on this and listen to some of the rest because I can't. I mean, this is disgusting to me. This guy absolutely was not a victim in any way. The murderer talked about it like he was ordering a bucket of KFC. My God. Yeah, very calm. And that's hard to know that someone's going to pop when they behave like that. And of course, he did it as cowards do with the pistol. A sneak attack, right? This ain't no fair duel. Sneak attack. Why do ignorant guys like this think mimicking the speech patterns of a Baptist preacher makes them sound smart or credible? It immediately makes me stop listening. Exactly. I'm like, oh my God, that's it? That's the only tactic you got? You know you couldn't do that in the court of law, right? Try doing that in front of a judge. They'd be like, if you repeat that one more time, I will hold you in contempt of court. You're being held in contempt, Lee. You're being held in contempt. Seems like in his world, there shouldn't be any consequence for evil behavior. Enough with the victimhood. Exactly. I mean, this is so disgusting. I can't believe this is real. I'll be honest. I can't even believe it's real. I gotta go. I might come back for a part 2, but thank y'all so much for being here and watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Mwah!